live. The meeting is being live streamed. Got it. Okay. Now, just like Facebook has a blue line, this is the red line going across, but we're likely live already. So welcome everybody. I'm just going to just do this, and it looks like the video is coming live now. Let's just see. The meeting is being live streamed. There we go. So, okay then.
Got yourself on the
In
line.
chat.
Red line going
You-
across, but
hang on, got it. I don't know how to.
welcome everybody.
Hang
I'm
on
just
there,
gonna
Joe.
just do
I
this,
think
and it looks like the video is coming live now. Let's just see.
I don't know what we're doing here, Joe. Sorry, guys.
So, okay then.
Got yourself on the line.
In chat.
Red line going
You-
across, but
Okay, I'm gonna
red
just,
line
I'm gonna
going- I don't
close
know how
this
to
then.
welcome
Hang on.
everybody.
Hang
I'm
on there,
just
Joe.
gonna
Hang on.
do this,
Nope.
and it looks like the video is
It's,
coming live
it's
now.
talking. I'm gonna
I
try to
don't know
close
what
it
we're doing.
down. There, now. It's, I closed it. So I don't even know if yes, we're live. We should be live to YouTube. Yep. Okay, guys, this is our first time going live on YouTube. It's so much fun. I'm just gonna check a few things out here. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, we're going there. Yeah, we're there. So welcome, guys, everybody. Okay, this is fun. This is so much fun, Joe. We finally did it. I've been talking about this for like months now, almost a year, and now we're finally figuring it out. After setting up these settings and all that crazy stuff. So Joe and I, Melissa T. Downard here, spiritual channeler, spiritual coach, Reiki master, and registered practical nurse, coming to you here from Georgetown, Ontario. And Joe and I have these chats quite often together. Joe Martin from, you tell me where you're from again, Joe. I always want to say Philadelphia. Am I right?
No, I'm right outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh. I knew it's a P.
Philadelphia is the other side. That's the rival.
Oh, that's the rival. Okay, so yeah, and once again, Joe's a energy healer, a channeler, and do you have an author as well? Joe has an awesome book. It's about Ascension, right? What can you give us the title again, Joe?
It's the Ascension Guide, channeled messages from Archangel Araya.
That's right. And everybody go grab it, because it's an awesome book. Everything that's going on in our world, and personal messages that Joe's brought through channeling with himself. And you work with someone else when you channel, right?
Yeah. She's kind of my mentor now. We meet up and discuss ideas. She's the one who's we really didn't plan on doing all that. It started with a past life regression that I went to do, and it just ended up us working well together, and her getting me to channel so many times for the book, and then we've done it a few times since, and we work on other things. And now I actually did a regression on her not too long ago, got her to channel for the first time, so we kind of reversed roles, so that was cool too. So that's what I'm kind of looking forward to now, is doing more of I like doing the past life regressions, but I don't know if you ever read any of Michael Newton's books, but he does.
I love his books, all of his books.
In-between lives.
Calling my name.
Yeah.
I love his work. His work has taught me so much, like Live Between Lives.
Yeah.
Story of how, that all our souls go through.
Right. So that's what I'm interested in now, is doing those spiritual regressions that he talks about, going in between and talking to your guides. And so that's what kind of fascinates me. But I have realized too, that it's not always that easy, and that some people aren't ready to get there yet. And they kind of actually had somebody snap out of it when we were doing a regression, and it was only like 15 minutes in. So it was kind of interesting, like just seeing how different people react, and how different.
Yeah.
Kind
Were
of
they
are.
just in past lives? Were they talking with their higher self at the time?
They were just in a past life.
Past life. Okay.
Yeah, just got kind of emotional, and it made them snap out. So it was interesting, to kind of see how, people could come to do a spiritual regression, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they're ready for it, or that they can get to that.
I know I've done it like 3 or 4 times. We got to talk. I want to do it again too. I've
Yeah.
always gotten good stuff. I've done it 3 or 4 times now. I've seen past and future lives coming through.
Cool.
And you got stuff moving around in the background
Yeah,
again. You're just
that's
on
fine.
with the energies, and guides are with us all the time. Guys, we're always here with other guys, are always working their magic behind the scenes with us every day. And Joe and I, once again, it's like we're both like, once again, you want to help people bring out the channeling. And my next thing is now not just teaching, opening up to your intuition and awareness and mediumship, but teaching channeling as well. And to me, I find I want to teach the way I was taught, because to me, it was successful. It worked. It was comfortable. And to me, it was a progression, nothing rushed. But it was always a progression. And to me, it was always like, I always felt safe, loved, and protected throughout the whole thing. And I know a lot of people out there might not feel the safe, loved, and protected in this aspect of work, no matter what, when you're starting out, as we progress. And as we progress, of course, we learn the extra techniques in between for psychic protection, staying grounded within our work. So that's what I mean. I teach 100% with everything. And so yeah, we can collaborate on a few more things now, Joe. I'm just getting so much inspiration and downloads right now. So we got to talk about other things that we just, when you said that about, especially Michael Newton, it's like, oh, I love his work. Because of him, that's where I am right partially on my journey. Like Greg Braden, Michael Newton, and it's hilarious. He talks about going, the one story he shares about this one guy going in between lives, and he's on his way to the spirit world after one life and he dies. And I guess he was living a life of being in the church and religious and being scared about, say, just
my wife was telling me about this. I haven't read that book yet. That's the next one I'm on.
You remember that you're going to get to the story where he's going in and he meets up with this guy, and to him it looks like the devil, and his soul's fearful because he's thinking it shouldn't be feeling this way. But literally when he gets to the other side, it in a snap, that the scary being turns into a spirit guide, which is one of his teachers, like a real teacher in his past life from school, or a friend or whatever. It was someone in his life that he lived with on the human plane. And the trickster of apparently the soul can appear just to trick you, like, oh, like that's so funny. And, but like a lot of things are very endearing. I think when I've read his stories, when we get to the other side, it's through love. It's like we see someone and you see your mother, but within an instant, it's going to meld and dissolve into another being that you recognize from so many lives from before. It's like, wow, I can't wait for that. Like, it's weird, but like to have the all-knowing, but then that's not even the all-knowing, but it's a lot more of the all-knowing.
Right.
So yeah, I'm excited for that. Like,
well, that's what I think my next, like I have 2 books that I'm just about wrapping up now after the first book. And then I think, so the 4th book, I think that's what I want to do, is explore like he did and try to get different accounts of people, or maybe just do it with the same person. I'm not exactly sure yet, but I'd like to go and explore that. Because that's what I was saying to my one friend. I'm like, we've explored all the land, we've explored all of the explorable territories of the physical. So now it's time to go explore the spiritual, go explore the ether and see what that's all about. So I think that would be fun to do a book on.
Well, I'm on the top of your list. I'll dig in every day. Let's see what comes through. I always ask those after the information, the learning, the teachings. There's so much that can come through for all this.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and that's what I think it's cool about it too, is one, it's interesting for you and I to do it, and to learn what we could learn about ourselves or whatever. But I think how much information, just like when we read Michael Newton's books, where it's like all this stuff starts clicking and you're like, oh, now this makes, because when I was reading his books, it was like, because I read them in kind of the wrong order. I read his most recent one, I think it was, where he was kind of telling how he does the regressions. I forget what it's called exactly, but
for me it was Journey of Souls,
that's
then
the first
Destiny
one
of Souls, and then now he's passed away, but now there's Wisdom of Souls. But Wisdom of Souls is his colleagues, their work that they put together of their clients that they've taken through the
I haven't
past
read
life
that.
regressions.
No, there's another one that he did before he died, where he talks about like how he does the session, how he does so before I had a client come into town, I read that book real quickly. That was the first one of his I read, and it was just like all this stuff was making so much sense. And so then I went back and read Journey of the Souls. I got to read Destiny of Souls next. That's the one I'm starting on.
More in depth. Oh my God.
Yeah. So that one I'm excited about. But it was cool as I'm going through and just kind of relating my own experiences, through what I've seen when I was kind of in those realms. And then what I've heard people describe since, and since I've been doing these, and how I don't know, it's just fascinating to hear how there's so many similarities. And just that, like I was saying, I was like, all of these things that happen in his book I'm reading about, this was written when I was, I think, like 10 years old, and then just reading it now, but being able to be like, wow, I've seen that. Oh, I know what that is. I did that, or whatever. And so it's just, very cool to get that and know that it was written, how many years ago. And so it's just those little validations of the stuff that you were seeing or getting or whatever. So I think that's fascinating. But yeah, I'd love to explore that realm. And that's definitely what I want to do next, I think.
And I find as we work on it, for me, things are opening up even more. I would just say energetically feeling and sensing things, they're opening up in other different ways. as well. Because I always joke with spirit, I want to see more with my eyes open, right?
Yeah.
And I'm seeing more energy changing and shifts and feeling my mother a lot. Since I had COVID, I just like another opening for me, but it just things like that I'm exploring more. And it's funny, I did when was it? It was like maybe a month ago. I did a channeling on a Facebook Live, and I started opening up my eyes, and now I'm channeling with my eyes open as well. And it's just coming and flowing. So it's cool. Like just we're branching up, we're reaching into new realms and stuff now, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think like with channeling, I feel like the better I do is when I can just get out of the way.
Exactly. That's my new thing,
Yeah.
the thoughtless awareness. When our
Yeah.
thoughts dissolve, we are open up our heart center and our energy centers and ready to receive and for our highest and greatest good.
Because when we're sitting there like evaluating or trying to think about what we're doing, or I don't know, anything like that, that's when I start to have like the doubts, and then that's when it's not. So you just totally have to get out of the way.
And trust
That's
what
the way I
comes
can
through.
describe
Stop questioning. It's like, well, that sounds crazy. Cause like, no, I teach
No.
people that too. Whenever it comes through, have a pen and paper, write it out. And especially when you're working in a circle of like-minded people, we can all validate it all together with you,
Yeah.
and build your confidence when you're actually, you're really receiving this information and
Well, that
healing.
was
In essence, it's all healing coming through higher frequency vibrations of light that heal our bodies.
right. And that's what I was reading in one of the books. It was talking about like miracles and how like Jesus wasn't able to perform miracles in his hometown because the belief of the people around was so low. And then once he was around people who believed, then the miracles just flowed because the belief was high enough, the vibration was high enough around. So I can definitely see how getting more channelers. I know when I go and I see, my mentor that I was just talking about, when I write the book, when I'm there, like she'll say stuff and it's just like I see it. She could take me anywhere and I could see all the, I don't know, it's crazy. So but like I know the building has part of it to do, but I know that just being around multiple people who are that higher vibration, that higher, it definitely brings more out of your gifts, I think, too. So
Yeah, and let it flow. You need to practice and allow and trust. Keep that.
Yeah.
For me, I'm very visual when I started. It's like let it all come out and explore it all.
Mhm. Yeah, because that's one of the other things that they talked about in that book was why like other religion, or I should say some religions, or prophets, so to speak, they would speak in tongues. And they said that's kind of just a way to open up that they call it prophetic flow.
Yeah.
But basically channeling, same thing, but you're basically just kind of nonsense. And then so you're just getting your egoic mind out of the way, or your logical mind, or however you want to look at it. And so by saying nothing, essentially, that's what allows that to start to flow through somehow. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
And yeah, I that's one area of study I would like to study more as well. Like speak this tongues, like is it actually messages like that's coming through, or is it because light language is like that? Like when I hear that some speaking in tongue, it sounds almost like sometimes it sounds like light language, and light language
I
doesn't
think
make
it is. I think there's multiple, because light language, they talk about the same thing where they kind of do that same babbling in the beginning to kind of open it up, and then it kind of comes through. And I've heard people describe it as like, it's like reading tarot cards. Like you could look at the same card as me, but we're going to get different maybe interpretations or different feelings from it. So it may mean something different to me than it means to you. So it's kind of like an interpretive language, like a feeling that you get with it too. So I've heard that it's not always like you could get two people that get two different meanings out of the same kind of conversation, I guess.
Yeah,
depending on what they need. So I don't know, it's different.
I know I had a lady come on and do light language like a year ago on one of my classes. I brought her on as a guest, and she came back and translated all the whole message for us after she did it with the light language, the hands and the words and the tongue.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful message.
Yeah.
So I've done a little bit with a Daniel Scranton class, but I'd have to practice more to feel comfortable. I think it's just like the basics. I've just done a little bit. So I'd like to, it's a good feeling. It's a high vibe feeling. It's great. So
Do you have Gaia TV?
not yet, but I have to get it again. I have to just reorder it because yeah.
There's a guy on there, I forget his name specifically, but he has a series where he goes around the country and interviews different channelers and stuff. And he went to, I think it was in Sedona, and they had a whole group there that was doing light language, and they would get together and they had a lady there who could like translate or I don't know. It was pretty cool though. It was interesting. That was like the
Oh, I
whole
know.
1 or 2 episodes was
Is
talking
it
about light
the
language.
initiative by Matea something? That guy? No.
It's a I forget his name. It'll come to me as soon as we're off here, I'm sure. But
I know.
he
And
goes
Debbie,
around. He's I don't think he's a channeler or anything himself. I think he's just curious, and that's kind of one of the things that led me to channeling was watching his series when I first, obviously Bashar, I think was the first one that we actually watched, or that kind of sparked my interest, and then we watched that guy's whole series on Gaia with all the different channelers from around the world that he went to, or I don't know if it's just the country or the world, but so that was interesting, and seeing how there's multiple different ways that people channel. Like some channelers kind of tap in and then will answer your question. Some of them are actually just tapping in and the beings are speaking right through them, and there was all different ways of people to do it, and all of them had different, one lady, she was just like you were saying, where she could do it with her eyes open, like she was kind of there involved in the conversation in a way. So it was kind of like when I channel, I don't remember anything afterwards until I listen to the recording. Usually it's all completely like wiped.
Okay, I got to witness you do this. I know one day we'll do this together. We will. I know we keep talking about it, but we'll pick a day, and maybe not live if you're not wanting that, but we could record it, and if you're comfortable, we could share it, because that would be amazing too. I remember, I can't. It was probably there's a book I remember. I'm thinking it's Brian Weiss. I'm not sure, but
I
there's
have that book right now too. Many Lives, Many Masters.
I think so. There was. Oh, was this the story of Catherine?
I haven't read it yet. I just
maybe, but I keep getting flashes of this story, and I could even be wrong about what's the author, but there's this lady, and she's a channeler, and she's never wanted to be taken over by her spirit guides. And in one part there, she's in university or studying, and they're all on stage, and they're doing lectures of some sort, and it's about hypnosis. So she actually gets under hypnosis. There's 3 people on stage, and this one woman she's already has a spirit guide that she channels and that she talks to. But this particular time, she went under hypnosis until she was relaxed completely. But the spirit guide stepped in and had a conversation. But the woman had said she wasn't ready for that, so she was a little bit perturbed because she thought she had an agreement not to but because this was taken over completely. But in this story, she has wishes to see her spirit guide with her eyes open, but she I don't know if she chickens out, she's not prepared. She turns. There's a story where she calls her to come into appearance, and her father's there, and someone else, maybe your daughter's there, and this being materializes in a chair. She's too scared to look. She doesn't look at her. It's I'd be like, I got to see that. That's so cool. I just love this whole thing about that one story. Fascinates me because, for me, I don't feel like I'm being taken over, but the words just keep coming. So it's not like I know certain things I still remember, but it just keeps coming and coming now, where when I started channeling, it was wait for the word, then I would say the word. And then it's just like a flow now, and I keep going. And I did one a couple weeks ago, it was nonstop. It's cool. It's solid. It's strong, which is
that's interesting.
I guess I'm just getting myself even more out of the way, just coming. And we'll do that today. If you're still up, we'll do a little fun channeling today.
I got 10 minutes left, so if you want to do it, let's do it.
And I think I shared a couple questions already too about, I think, the best other ways to share about talking to people about meditation, and let's see what comes through for that, and thoughtless awareness and all that stuff. So me and Jory kind of set some intentions here. So let's see. I'm going to turn my fan off because I don't know if that's it. Let's see. Okay. So let's see what comes through today. Let's go. We'll just start with, I always start with deep breathing for everybody too, before we go into anything. So just breathing in through your nose and relaxing and into your lungs and holding that. And just breathing out for the count of 8. And let your shoulders fall away, and just totally relaxation will come across you now. And keep breathing. Imagine breathing in white light into your whole body and your whole cells. And letting that infuse your whole body and being. And just blow out all the stress and negativity. And okay. There's lots of words here. There's a lot going on here. He's got to focus now. the challenges and the light beings are coming to you now, are being met with some resistance and yet with some openness and but the vast majority on your planet right now are well ready listening to these messages from the heart, at the heart of the moment, deep in the heart at this time. The castles are being built. Societies and civilizations have risen, and they have risen so high and they have come back down again. And once again, these cycles of time and space have continued on your worlds of the civilizations rising up and then collapsing down once again. The pillars that have been built in Greece and such around the world are pillars of light that have been erected. And now seamlessly, unknowingly, people are looking around and searching and wondering the moments and the meanings of all this and what it means for you on planet Earth right now. And yes, the time is coming now where the true beings of light are coming out. They have been searched out, but they have always been here. Also searching and learning within the human race. And no one trusts that these platforms within these pillars of light in ancient Egypt and Rome, they're all telling a story. There's always stories to be told about your ancient past and your future coming to you now. We take these stepping stones now. And as you have learned and been taught many stories about your past, many new stories are arising. And as you're listening to the new stories, we invite you to open your heart and mind to pay attention to the new keys that are coming through to you now, the opening in awareness that is coming across your world now. The ancient societies and structures are coming, they're wanting to come through. They're ripping through the surfaces now and the crevices and want to be revealed to you all now. The ancient healings and the living on your planet now, it is coming up now. And much has been hidden from you, but many healers now have been rising to the occasion and learning and striving to open up their third eye, their true self, their higher self, and meeting and communing with higher beings of light. The dimensions have been rising to and bringing forth a great collaboration and network and groups of beings, not just from your planetary bodies, but from others around the cosmos within your universal timeframes now. And yes, we are sitting together within councils, all learning and striving to move forward to bring the best answers to you and your leaders on your world at this time. But now we realize humanity must take hold and grab on to many new fractions that are coming in and learn and decipher what truly holds them deep in their heart and bring forward the new standards they wish to live by. And as you're reaching out and hearing these new structural concepts being put in place, please take the time and look deep and question every structural concept going into your world now. Many people are agreeing with this no money system, no cash system, but others are not in alignment with this at all. And for this is going on in your world at this time now, where freedom people are speaking up and standing up and saying, please stop changing our systems. Let us align with what we truly believe without being forced into these new systems and concepts. So this is the time to go into your heart and reach out strongly and strive for what you truly feel is right. But we also ask you and invite you to keep an open heart, full of love, not hate. If you have an idea, express it with joyness and encouragement without bashing and hurting others on your world, for that is not the way of the future. True momentum and love and compassion for all is what we must bring forth into our everyday lives. And seeing that for our world leaders and people who we may not agree with at this time, we're all placed on this earth at this time for certain lessons. And each and every one of you are all guiding and bringing forth your own true messages and your own true guidance. So take note of that. And when you see your fellow opponents standing up and saying something you don't agree with, please be in alignment with your true heart and allow the truth to come through. And allowing to hold love and compassion in your heart and share that on to the next and the next. For the others are watching and the children are watching right now and paying attention to the truth to be told. And the planet is moving and rumbling, and the nodes and the energy centers are all opening up now. And it's coming through. So when your heart is open, each and every one of you with an open heart will receive this energy codes from these nodes and such on your planet Earth. And this is the factor and the growth factor coming in now. It's just growing exponentially now. And when your heart is open and you're listening, when these openings occur on planet Earth through these nodes of energy, you are all upgrading together. And this, my dear ones, are bringing you into your future now. And as you're moving through your daily lives and you're hearing of these new channelers and new message keepers and senders, open up your heart and take note and realize that we all can do this. You all have this gift deep within your heart and soul and your DNA. So when you're questioning this and questioning that, know within your heart, this is true. We all have this opening to reach our higher energy centers, our true selves, our higher selves. And this life we live on earth is experiences, is lessons to be learned. And when you can realize that and face that, it can help bring forth a more of an open heart and understanding for each and every brother and sister, mother and father in your life now on this time on planet Earth. It is our lessons and our experiences that are bringing us forward. And if we can stay aligned with the light, this will bring us forward now into the new coming ages where it has been striving for many generations on your world to come through the strife you're living and raise to the occasions and the ascension where you can attain. This is the common goal for many light workers and starseeds on your world now. And the world leaders are knowing so much is arriving on your world now. And so many other sources have preceded these sources, and more is shining through the light with the higher dimensional beings of light, integrating into your systems and your environments and your political systems. It is all happening now, my dear ones. We're all integrating in together now as one. And please open your eyes and your hearts when you meet that new person within these I-folds and tri-folds within the governments and the parties. We are new beings engaging now on your world. So take note and have courage and strength that new world leaders are coming in to help on your planetary ascension on this planet Earth you call home at this time. And my dear ones, we are so happy and glad that we can share these messages out to you all now and with love and abundance. And we invite you now to be full of the gratitude and love and abundance in your life, for that is the way to bring forward your tomorrow. It will bring forward you into your life with manifesting and true hope and peace. Being grateful and thank you is the key. So keeping that in mind in your deep heart and souls and forever and ever, loved ones, and the beings of light, we move on together now throughout your planetary bodies and solar systems within the cosmos and the universal light bodies of energy coming through to you now. We are grateful for this wonderful experience, and with light and love now we go now. Amen. That was cute. They could have, I know they could have kept going, but I know when the time comes, I have this kind of inner feeling where it's like, I know that we have to start wrapping up, and it comes together beautifully. See, they're just coming down, they're coming, and I knew I was able to open my eyes a few times, which is cool. Like it's like it's a nice constant flow now, which is nice. To the great connections of the energy that's coming through now is, once again, the reminders are very similar in all my channelings. It's always similar, but this one was an opening more about what's going on in the world now, which is cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, that was awesome. Yeah, we'll have to get together and talk about doing that some exploring.
Yes.
See what we can come up with. So.
Yeah, I'm channeling for you more, and then past life regressions as well. That'd be like amazing.
Yeah.
So we did it, Joe. We did it. We did our
perfect.
first YouTube live thing. So I'll do the magic. I'll figure it out how to do the magic touch of putting all our stuff on there and a little explanation of everything. And then we'll see. Hang on. No, okay, I can stop. Just we'll figure other things out, because I know. Yeah, we'll figure out our Wednesday Facebook lives too, whether it's going to be this way or another way. We'll talk.
Cool. Sounds good.
For a fun chat this Sunday, and sorry it was later than we thought, but next weekend, well, I'm not going out next weekend, but the weekend after that I might be. So and you enjoy the rest. You enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk.
You too. Thanks. It's good talking to everybody. See ya.
Bye-bye, guys.